Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I would be making a recap of a movie titled The Engineer. Was scripted based on a true life story about the hunt for the most notorious Palestinian bomb builder of the mid-90s. He was the guy who built the vest bombs that Hamas suicide bombers wore onto buses and into Israel's public places, killing scores and rattling the state that they saw as occupiers and tormentors, who took their land and created their own ethnic quasi-theocracy out of it. The movie begins with a scene where a suicide bombing occurred. When Senator Adler discovers that his daughter has been one of the victims of the bombing, he gets so devastated and seeks revenge against the mastermind. Subsequently, he finds and manages to convince a former Mossad agent in the US named Avi to return to Israel with him. A man named Ethan, who is part of the Israeli intelligence agency, was suspended for brutally torturing prisoners. However, when the bombings start, he is brought back to help locate Yahya Ayosh. Two separate teams unknown to each other went in search of this mastermind behind the bombings. One is from Israeli intelligence, and the other is from Adler's ex-Mossad team. Even though they were parallel teams, they unknowingly come together in the mix of events. Both Avi and Ethan are suitable for the task. Avi returns and communicates with his team while Ethan rejoins his old crew to begin the search. Initially, Ethan was reluctant to leave his family again for a mission and is reconsidering joining the same team after being suspended. Ethan is a guy who gives total commitment, which is why he would do anything to obtain information through any means. Yet, he had been suspended for using brutal means to extract information from suspects. Ethan's team are keeping their eyes on Yahya's wife as they expect him to contact his wife at some point. On the other hand, Avi commits himself to this mission and starts contacting every ex-agent currently in hiding to enlist their help to take down Yahya. The first person he makes contact with is Levi, who gives him access to stay in touch with a man named Gilly. Gilly tells Avi that everyone in Palestine supports Yahya and sees him as a hero. The three of them, Avi, Gilly, and Levi, work together to locate a man behind transporting one of the suicide bombers into Tel Aviv, named Kader, as they are sure he has a lead on where they can find Yahya. Ethan, along with his team, is trying to track down information that leads them to a man named Abdel Nasser Issa, a man also responsible for creating explosives. Two parallel teams, with different members targeting the same goal, to catch the engineer. While Avi searches for Kader, he becomes involved in a gunfight. Meanwhile, Senator Adler finally arrives in Palestine with fury in his heart, desiring to kill Yahya himself. The mission they are undertaking has its risks, and it's absurd for Adler to be with them. It's also dangerous for Avi's crew to be seen with an American. Fanny monitors Yahya's wife's home and sees Avi's team enter right after Ethan and his team leave. When Ethan notices them, he immediately follows, thinking they are Yahya's accomplices. It reveals that there is another fellow Israeli team working under the radar to hunt down Yahya. Ethan contemplates whether to join forces with Avi in this mission. But before he can even decide, the Israeli Prime Minister is reportedly killed. This makes them even more pressed to find Yahya, and they consider enlisting Avi and his team to help in the search. It's difficult for either team to locate Yahya because they haven't been able to find him with his wife or any relatives. So Fanny decides to check the records of Yahya's former schoolmates, considering he might be staying with one of them. Fanny's shrewd thinking yields positive results as they discover that Yahya is indeed staying at his school friend Osama's place. It turns out that Osama's uncle used to be an informant for Shin Bet. Osama's uncle helps them replace Osama's phone, which he uses to help Yahya communicate with his father. Avi and Ethan hear enough information from Yahya. Osama's uncle finally switches the telephone and gives Osama a phone with a small bomb inside, which Eli can control from the headquarters. Ethan confirms that Yahya is using the phone, and Eli controls the bomb, making it explode.
It's him, it's the engineer. Hello?
They are able to kill Yahya on the spot, and they have to get away from there as soon as possible. But before they can escape, the Palestinians in the neighborhood opens fire, which sees Avi and Gilly get hit in the process. Unfortunately, Gilly dies while Ethan tries hard to save Avi, but he couldn't. In the end, we get to see an older woman sitting on the bus who turns out to be a suicide bomber. It makes us realize that Yahya is just a regular person who was influenced by extremely violent beliefs in his life. And that Yahya is not alone. There are many people just like him who continue to kill in the name of freedom and keep on killing innocent lives. Please subscribe to my channel and let me know in the comment section which movie you would like to see a recap for.